Tonight, the Eiffel Tower feels the power of Glory Super Fight Series Paris. The creme de la creme of French kickboxing are in town for a showcase of Gallic superstars. In the headline fight, Johan Ledon gets the home crowd advantage against no reverse gear Joanne Congolo of Switzerland. The supremely suave Dylan Salvador drops the division and takes on stoic Ukrainian Sergey Adamchuk at featherweight. After suffering a devastating knee knockout at Glory 39, Salvador will go all in for a coup de grace tonight. Knockout monster par excellence, Zinedine Hammerlane aims to knock a hole in compatriot Freddie Camayo. And heavyweight beast Nicholas Wamba goes tete-a-tete with Brazilian battering ram Donata Denise. It's Glory Super Fight Series Paris. We are in Paris, home of the Louvre, the Arc de Triomphe, the Notre Dame Cathedral, some of the premier historic sites in the world. And tonight, it welcomes the premier kickboxing organization in the world, Glory Kickboxing. We are at the Accor Hotels Arena in Paris. My name is Todd Grisham, alongside the former welterweight champion of the world, Joseph Valtellini. Thanks to you watching in over 170 countries around the world, and we've got a great card for you tonight, up and down. What fight jumps out to you, Joe?
I have to go Marat Grigorian versus Antonio Gomez. Both of those guys like to stand in the pocket and exchange big combinations.
Marat Grigorian so dangerous, so feared, no one wanted to fight him except for Antonio Gomez, known as the Tornado. He stepped up and said, I'll take him on.
Yeah, he's even fought recently against Josh Johnson, and he suffered a big cut under his chin, but that cut is healed, and he's ready for Grigorian.
Another enticing matchup tonight features France's own Dylan Salvador, fresh off a world title fight. He's dropping down to featherweight, and he's facing one of the best on the planet.
Both of these guys are very technical and very experienced, and they're both southpaws, so that southpaw advantage for both of those guys goes out the window.
Since we are in France, as you can imagine, we have a lot of French fighters, 6 in fact on this card, and 2 of them face off head-to-head in the light heavyweight division, Zinedine Hammerlane and Freddie Camayo.
And these two are probably the most experienced French fighters, and Zinedine Hammerlane has a lot of Glory experience, where Camayo is coming down from heavyweight in the light heavyweight division, and he's bringing a lot of power and success.
Zinedine Hammerlane made a huge statement back at Glory 32 when he knocked out not 1, but 2 opponents in the same night.
Yeah, he has that vicious right hand that he keeps putting people out with, and talking to his coaches, he says if he hits you, you're going down.
He won a contender tournament that night and then headed to France to fight again, but it did not go well at all against Zervalev.
He fought a power puncher in Zervalev who just got on the inside and seemed to overwhelm him with power punches, but he's back and wants to make a statement here in Paris.
As for Freddie Camayo, we saw him in Copenhagen fighting as a light heavyweight for the first time.
And he looked good. He had to really use this experience as he fought the young Hadar, weathered the storm, and was able to use his boxing and score a great TKO win.
As for our main event tonight, it features one of Paris's own, Johan Ledon, making his Glory debut, and what a task he has in front of him as he faces Joanne Congolo.
It's like, as you said, Todd, it's his first fight in Glory, but let me tell you, he's got over 150 professional fights. You really don't see that with European fighters, but he brings a lot of power, good low kicks, and a lot of world-class experience.
Yeah, he's beaten one of the best in the world. In fact, the best in the world, Cedric Doumbé. He beat him in 2014. Here's some highlights of one of his more recent fights.
Yeah, here he's fighting Glory veteran Karapetian, and it just shows how good he is with his boxing and his low kick. Although he has a lot of Muay Thai experience, you're going to see a lot of good kickboxing, mixing his punches and his kicks.
How about this one? Boom! That's a knockout shot for you. We expect big things for Johan Ledon tonight. But in order to see those big things, he's got to beat one of the biggest men in his division, at least from a status perspective, a man coming off a world title opportunity. It's Joanne Congolo, who's backstage with Whitney Miller.
Thanks, Todd. Johan, you're taking on somebody that is making their Glory debut, but has over 150 fights. How do you prepare for something like that?
Just focus on myself and trying to with my team. I don't need to change many things, so I'm really confident, and it's not a problem. Inside the Glory, inside the ring, is the same. So I'm full ready, and I make a good job with my big team fight district. It's okay. I'm really confident for tonight. Yeah.
Now, you told me you actually like fighting other people in their hometown. Usually it's the opposite. Why is that?
For me, I can fight in my town or I can fight outside my town. It's better for me because I like when I fight outside in my city. And no, I fight in Paris, my opponent from in France. And it's good for the show. So like this, he have many fans for him. And I can show to all fans who is the boss tonight. Yeah.
Great. Good luck. Let's get things started right now.
Some of France's finest stand-up fighters step inside the Glory ring to defend their homeland against the world's elite. As Glory Sports International, the world's premier kickboxing organization, returns to Paris for the Glory Super Fight Series. All of our bouts tonight sanctioned by the International Sport Kickboxing Association in cooperation with the FFKMDA. Accor Hotels Arena, Paris, France. Are you ready for glory? He's coming off a win over Daniel Morales at Glory 33 in New Jersey. Here comes Francois Ombang.
Say this is my story. True get a story. Say this is my story. Real get a story. Hey, see I was born poor like many men.
Not only is he a dangerous man in the ring, but one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and he is fighting with a lot of motivation tonight. His sister was severely burned and her house was burned to the ground in Cameroon, Africa. His sister's name is Frida. He's dedicating tonight's performance to her as well as to his father, who also had to undergo an emergency surgery. So he's got a lot on his mind, Joe. How do you think that'll affect him tonight?
Well, Francois has been part of Glory, since Glory 9 New York, where I got to fight Ambang. But Ambang is a fighter who's very strong, very powerful, and he's very determined. He's really looking to get the top names in the division. He's already calling out the Doombays, the Holskins, the Congolos. He's ready for the top 5.
This Muay Thai stylist makes his Glory debut and comes to Paris on a 5-fight unbeaten streak. Here is Remy Vector.
This is his Glory debut. His nickname is RoboCop because he only comes forward and he never takes a back step, Joe.
Yeah, he's very forward fighting. He comes from originally a kickboxing background. Then he transitioned over to Muay Thai, where he fought some of the biggest names in Thailand. But now he's motivated to stay in kickboxing now that he's entered the Glory ring.
He didn't hold back telling us, yes, I feel nervous. Yes, I feel pressure. This is the biggest fight of my life. Now for our tail of the tape, Francois Ombang and Remy Vector, a welterweight bout. You can see the age difference. It's a slight difference, 30 and 27, and an inch height advantage for the Frenchman.
You're going to see a lot more professional experience for Vector, who, again, has been in Muay Thai recently, where Ambang has been a little bit more active in the Glory ring in the recent years.
Here are our Glory rules. Only 3 rounds, 3 minutes each. Punches, kicks, knees, those are the legal strikes. 3 knockdowns in a round, 4 in the fight, and it's over.
Well, let's take a look at the scoring. 5 judges tonight in Paris will score the bout using the 10-point must system. We're looking for knockdowns, damage, clear scoring strikes with an emphasis on spectacular techniques. Finally, if there's no clear advantage, judges will look at aggressiveness.
Tonight, open scoring in effect. After each round, we will post the official judges' scores on your screen so you'll know exactly where we stand, and the fighters will know as well. Tim Hughes now with our official introduction.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in the Glory welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner, a former U.S. Muay Thai champion who brings with him a professional record of 17 wins and 6 losses, 6 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, 1.80 meters, and he weighed in at fight time at 169.5 pounds and even 77 kilos. He fights tonight out of Mechanicsville, Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Francois Bang Bang Ambang. His opponent standing on my left and fighting out of the white corner, a French champion also trained in kickboxing and Muay Thai. His record, 36 wins, 7 losses, 1 bout scored even, and 15 of those wins coming by knockout. He stands 6 feet even, 1.83 meters, and he weighed in at 169 pounds, 76.7 kilos. He fights tonight for France. Ladies and gentlemen, Remy Robocop Vector! And the third man inside the rupture referee is Paul Nichols.
Gentlemen, you understand the rules that you're fighting to. Protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Do you have any questions? Touch gloves if you like. Push back.
Joe,
Judge,
you fought and beaten Francois Ambang. How does Remy Vector get the job done?
Well, Ambang has improved a lot since we fought. He's used, continues to use his boxing as his main weapon, but I think Vector's going to use his kicks. He said since he's been going to Muay Thai, his kicks and knees have developed, so Vector's going to use his kicks, Ambang his boxing.
Ambang told us yesterday, I'm not going to play around. I'm ending this fight, if not in the first round, early in the second. Just you watch. So that's what we're going to do. Ambang wearing the black gloves, Vector in the white.
Vector's really using those low kicks, and that's a good weapon to try to shut down the hands of Ambang.
If you watched our Inside Glory Fight Week series, we featured Ambang training here locally in France, was doing wind sprints up a huge stairway, almost like the Philadelphia Library where Rocky Balboa trained, and you could see his thighs, how massive they are.
It's one of his highlights in his career to fight in Paris. Coming from Cameroon, he speaks French, so he was able to bring his wife here to Paris as well.
Everybody fights for something. Ambang fights for money to send back to his family in Cameroon. There's about 5 to 6 relatives there. Count on his funds to basically live.
I'm really liking these low kicks from Vector. Ambang countering back.
See the smile there from Ambang. Ambang seems to look a little fresher than we've seen him before.
Yeah, he had this different mental side to him. He was very motivated to go for knockouts, so hopefully he plays the game right, slows it down, and in my opinion right now needs to be a little bit more active and not wait too long.
Well, Joe, they say when you're trying for the knockout, you rarely get it. It usually comes when you least expect it. Ambang, though, does expect it. Nice push kick or front kick.
Vector back to the low kick. There's Ambang making the adjustment. Slipping out of range.
The output has certainly slowed down for Ambang.
Low kicks, that's what they do to you.
Good jab there from Vector. Swings and misses with a right hand. So the first glory round of Vector's career is in the books, and he looked pretty comfortable.
Yeah, he did really well. And the fact that he's using that low kick to slow Ambang down has been really effective in that round. It really shut down his output. Ambang has only landed 13 of 30 strikes.
Here is Francois Ambang, known as Bang Bang. He's the Road to Glory welterweight tournament winner, and that kind of set him on his path.
Yeah, that set him on his path into Glory 9, and now it's Glory 42, and he's still here. But his main thing is he wants to get those top 5 guys.
Has a knockout ratio of about 40%, but was completely convinced he'd get one tonight. But you know, we didn't know too much about Remy Vechtel. I'm sure Ambang didn't either. Seems to be a little tougher perhaps than Ambang figured.
Well, Vechtel is a replacement. Ambang was originally set to fight someone else.
Round 2, here we go.
I'm curious to see what adjustments Ambang's going to do for those low kicks.
And here are the official judges' scores. That graphic obviously was not right. We'll get it right in a minute and update you on who is winning this fight.
Ambang's corner is asking him to be a little bit more active with the jab. Vechtel doing a great job staying relaxed, staying defensive. Nice body kick, good counter by Ambang.
Vechtel predicted this would be a wild fight, said he's not going to give up to the very last second. I would say it's been less than wild, more tame perhaps than he figured, but things are opening up a little bit here as they exchange kicks. Vechtel going high, Ambang going low.
Ambang's being more active, and that's why he's being a little bit more successful this round.
Nice high kick, partially blocked though, but it slowed Ambang's momentum down.
Vechtel said he favored his boxing and training. He lived in Thailand for 10 months, and being there, in Muay Thai they score kicks and knees higher, so that's where Vechtel really learned to utilize his kicks and his knees, and it's doing a good job tonight.
Joe, you and I were having a nice lunch on the cafe in Paris. Ambang's wife was there as well. She got a large pizza to take home to Ambang, says that's his post weigh-in meal. He wants a large pizza, set it in front of him, and get out of his way.
But it was more of that European-Italian pizza, so it was a thinner crust, and she thought Ambang would have been upset with it.
Yeah, he wants a little thicker crust.
And chicken wings.
And he does like chicken wings. I guess if you've made weight, you can go crazy.
He does cut a lot of weight, and you can see the difference from weigh-in to now.
Look how big he is.
He's a monster.
Sneaky right hand there from Vechtel as well, who's doing more than just holding his own. This has been a 50-50 fight, it seems.
It's been really good, but Ambang's doing better this round. Vechtel seems to be slowing down, not really using that low kick as much.
Ooh, Ambang swinging from the hips there.
Ambang has a lot of pro boxing experience. He even has a fight against Sergey Kovalev.
That I did not know. A professional fight.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you he didn't win it because Kovalev only has one loss in his career, and that coming controversially so to Andre Ward.
Well, it just shows the mindset of Ambang, fighting anyone, anytime, any rule set.
So Ambang, who was on the Cameroonian national boxing team, goes to the corner to take a deep breath. 3 minutes to go here on our opening bout. Joe, we'll see the official judges' scores momentarily. How do you have this fight?
Well, I'm going to give the first round to Vechtel and the second round to Ambang, so I'm going to give it 1 round apiece.
So according to Joseph Valtellini, the fight hinges on round number 3. Ambang in black gloves, Vechtel from France in white. This fight in the welterweight division, 170 pounds, but I can assure you that Ambang does not weigh anything close to 170 right now.
He probably puts anywhere from 15 to 20 pounds on.
It's incredible. But so far, Vechtel has been able to avoid the bombs. Now here's the official scoring. Only one judge gave that second round to Ambang, 4 giving it to Vechtel. So let's see what the totals are right now. 4 judges have Vechtel up by 2 points. 1 has it even. So by that theory, or that score, the math, Ambang needs at least a knockdown here.
Yeah, so he needs to be a little bit more active with his boxing, and that's where he found a little bit more success in the second round. But Vechtel needs to keep up with those low kicks, changing levels.
I'm sure some of Ambang's fans watching at home may say, wait a minute, you sure it's 2 rounds to nothing? Let us also point out we are in France. Remy Vechtel is French, so that never hurts.
Ambang using low kicks of his own, but Vechtel counters right back.
So Ambang predicted a knockout. He pretty much needs a knockout. So how do you feel about open scoring if you're in the corners? What are you telling Ambang if you know you need a knockdown here?
Well, I'm trying to listen to the corners, trying to see if they've said anything to Ambang. Because maybe it might discourage him and slow him down, but
I'd want to know if I'm a fighter. If I need a knockout, I want to know that I got to go for a knockout. Don't you fight, like if you're Vechtel, you certainly aren't going to go for a knockout knowing that you're up 2 rounds to none.
well, I'm just curious to know if they actually know.
Well, it is posted on the big screens here inside the Accor Hotels Arena. Paul Nichols, our referee tonight. He was a guest on our Glory podcast this week. Gave us some interesting insight.
Yeah, I was into that knockdown versus flash knockdown.
Come on. Hey, 8-9 hard. Let's go. Come on. Go. Hands up. I need something.
You can hear his corner now, Ambang, saying, let's go. Let's go.
Just like that. Keep going. Again. Hey. I go, friend. Again.
Vechtel hasn't done a ton of work this round, but hasn't really needed to.
Nope, he's just staying really defensive. Letting Ambang open up, but good job at Vechtel. Staying really calm, relaxed, chopping away.
They'll both raise their hands in victory, but it appears that the Frenchman has gotten the job done in his Glory debut in his home country. The official decision when we return. And now, while we've got an opportunity, here's more on Glory's official rules.
Glory Kickboxing is the most action-packed fight sport on the planet. Legal strikes are punches, kicks, and knees. Regular bouts are 3 rounds. Championship bouts are 5, and each round is 3 minutes of action. Outfight your opponent for 10-9. Knock them down for 10-8. In a normal bout or tournament final, 3 knockdowns in 1 round or 4 in the entire bout, and the fight is over by TKO. In a tournament semi, 2 knockdowns in 1 round or 3 in the entire bout, and it's all over. Or you can just knock your opponent out. Sweeps, elbows, and grappling are not allowed. Clinching is okay if you follow up with a knee. Glory rules are designed to bring non-stop, fast-paced stand-up action. To find out more, go to glorykickboxing.com.
Our first fight on the Super Fight Series card is in the books. Here's some highlights. Ambang versus Vechtel.
And Vechtel started off doing a good job at really using his kicks, chopping away on the legs. But then in the second round, Ambang started being a little bit more active. But Vechtel did a good job at staying very calm, keeping to his game plan and strategy, staying defensive, making it really hard for Ambang to get any of his output going. So, according to the open scoring, we have Vechtel taking this fight.
Here are the strikes absorbed. Ambang, 23 headshots absorbed. Vechtel, 23 body shots absorbed. It was a close fight, really could have gone either way. Here's the official decision from Tim Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of kickboxing, we go to the judges' scorecard. Here are the totals from our 5 ringside judges. 3 of our judges scored about 30-27. The remaining 2 have it 29-28. A unanimous decision for your winner, Remy Vechtel.
Short notice, comes in, fights a veteran like Ambang, and gets a unanimous decision victory over his home fans, in front of his home fans here in Paris.
Yeah, he looked good, using his kicks, staying collected, defensive, but we'll see what's next for Vechtel in the Glory Arena.
A lot of emotion for RoboCop Remy Vechtel. Coming up later, France's Dylan Salvador, fresh off a world title fight, has dropped down a weight division, will square off against one of the best featherweights in the world today, Ukraine's Sergey Adamchuk. But first, one of the most dangerous fighters in Glory's lightweight division, Belgium's Marat Grigorian faces a man who knows only one way to fight, straightforward and all out. The Tornado, Spain's Antonio Gomez. Friday, July 14th, Glory returns to the historic theater at Madison Square Garden for Glory 43 Super Fight Series. 6 huge fights across 5 divisions. There's top-ranked light heavyweight mayhem with Pavel Zuralev versus Salo Cavallari. Plus, U.S. middleweight action with New York locals Ariel Sepulveda versus Joe Taylor. Glory 43 Super Fight Series at the theater at MSG, July 14th. Don't miss it.
All right, Paris, time now for the lightweights. This strong Spaniard made his Glory debut in Germany at Glory 36. Here is Antonio Gomez.
And the bass keep running, 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 running,
They call him the Tornado, Joe, and the last time we saw him in the ring, he fought just like that. Just came out like a house on fire.
Yeah, what the Tornado does is he likes to stay in the pocket, throw a lot of punches, and is that left hook that he changes levels with that makes him very dangerous. In his last fight at Glory 40 Copenhagen, he was doing really well against Josh Johnson in that first round, but unfortunately, he took a knee up the middle from Johnson, split his chin open, and got him the TKO loss, but that chin is healed, and he's ready for Grigorian.
His head kick KO in Los Angeles was the top knockout of 2016. Here comes Marat Grigorian.
Gotta love the dramatic music. And Marat Grigorian brings plenty of drama into the ring. He's the #1 lightweight contender in the world today, and he is about as fierce as they come.
Yeah, nobody really wants to spar with him. He's just got so much power and aggression, and he really likes to come forward, and this is why I picked this fight to be one of the fights of the nights with Gomez, because both guys aren't going to back up. So expect both of these guys to sit in the pocket, be busy, and exchange back and forth.
If there's one fight tonight you want to bet on a knockout happening, this could be the one. Grigorian versus Gomez in the lightweight division. That's 154 pounds. Grigorian still young, 26 years old, as is Gomez. He's 27, but Joey's coming off a rather serious cut to the underside of his jaw against Josh Johnson.
Yeah, we saw that pick and it looked nasty, but he says it's fine and it's hidden by that beard. But both of those guys have similar professional experience, but you have to give the edge to Grigorian, who's been at the top of the lightweight division for some time now.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this lightweight bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner, a former Spanish national champion who brings a professional record of 50 wins with 8 losses, 2 draws, and 29 career knockouts. At 5 feet 8 and 1/2 inches, 1.74 meters, he weighed in at 153 1/2 pounds, 69.8 kilos. Fighting tonight out of Spain, here is Antonio Tornado Gomez. His opponent became a World Max Champion in 2016. His professional record, 49 wins, 10 losses, 2 draws, and 30 career knockouts. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, 1.78 meters, and he weighed in at 153 1/2 pounds, 69.7 kilos. Fighting tonight out of Belgium, he is the #1 ranked lightweight contender in the world. He is Marat Grigorian. And the referee in charge of this bout is John Axwood.
Okay, guys, you know the rules. Break is break, stop is stop. Shake hands.
It's interesting, Antonio Gomez told us yesterday, listen, I'm a huge fan of Marat Grigorian. I've seen all his fights on TV. It's an honor just to step in the ring with him. So here we go. White gloves for Grigorian, black for Antonio Gomez out of Spain.
Gomez can be a fan of Grigorian, but he can't over-respect him. And he says he knows that Grigorian has a lot of power, and that's his strategy to come forward. So he's going to plan on trying to use a little bit more movement to start.
Both fighters with about a 60% knockout ratio.
Already Gomez trying to keep the fight on the outside. Doesn't want to stay in the pocket yet. He says he wants to feel the power of Grigorian before he stands in that pocket.
There is a little bit of it with a left uppercut from Grigorian. Make sure you interact with us on social media tonight. Use the hashtag Glory42. Big shots there from Gomez. But this is what we saw when he fought Josh Johnson last. First round was great, but kind of ran out of steam in a hurry.
And that's what Grigorian does really well. He's going to control the center of the ring, keep you against the ropes, and slowly chop away with you with punches, and changing levels, and low kicks.
That right cross from Grigorian just missed.
And you see how tight Grigorian stays. So if Gomez throws a lot of output on the guard, it's going to tire him out. But he needs to stay away from those corners.
Even when Grigorian's eating punches, he still looks so calm and composed compared to Gomez, who won't stop moving around. Body kick from Gomez. But again, he finds himself near the corner, Joe.
Well, that's where Grigorian experience comes in. He's going to move Gomez against the ropes. And he's known for that right high kick.
From corner to corner, pillar to post.
And in Gomez's last fight with Johnson found a nice left high kick. So Grigorian's constantly changing levels. You see him attacking the legs and then mixing in high kicks.
Grigorian being rather patient, but at the same time, he hasn't taken a backward step. Oh, a head kick there from Grigorian.
Grigorian's high kicks are vicious.
Gomez keep up this output for 3 rounds? Oh, and an uppercut lands. Oh, a body shot, and Gomez is still crouched down, thinking about taking a knee.
Looks like he was holding Grigorian to stay up.
And now it's Grigorian who's unloading.
Gomez keeps countering back.
His trainer, Nick Hemmer, calling for another low kick.
Grigorian landed a good uppercut in that exchange.
A very entertaining round number 1. Both men landing 32 total strikes.
Let's take a look at some of this action here. It's Gomez really trying to stay on the outside, but man, Grigorian just keeps you against the ropes, and you have no idea where he's going to hit. He's going to punch up top. He's going to rip punches to the body, mix in uppercuts. He's mixed in some good high kicks, good low kicks, being very unpredictable where he's landing.
Stamina could certainly be a factor in this fight. Gomez already looks like he's been 3 rounds. Grigorian, pretty fresh. And there's Madeline, one of our beautiful Glory girls. She wants you to reach out to her on either Instagram or Twitter, or if you're crazy enough, do both. So here's Grigorian, about to chomp down on that mouthpiece again. Round 2. And if my broadcasting instincts are correct, Joe, we're not going to see a round 3. Here's our official judges' scores, all 5, giving the round to Grigorian. This is open scoring here in Paris tonight. Jab there from Grigorian.
Nice
hand right, yes.
Beautiful. Then he's going back to the liver and following his kicks.
But Gomez fighting back.
It's got to be pretty discouraging for Gomez that Grigorian doesn't want to back up even with his hardest shots.
Grigorian feels he's ready for another world title shot. Looks pretty good here tonight for sure.
He already has 3 fights with Sidichai, so it would be the 4th time they would meet.
That's if Sidichai retains his belt after his next title defense. The trainer for Marat Grigorian, Nick Hemmers, certainly one of the best young trainers, if not just the best trainer, period, in the world today in kickboxing.
His dad, Cor Hemmers, is one of the most experienced coaches in kickboxing, so I'm sure he's learned a lot from his dad.
The right hand connects. Gomez a little wobbly, backing up. He'll throw a big bomb. That knee got him in the solar plexus, and Gomez goes down.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
May not happen.
9.
No, he says no mas. It is over. Marat Grigorian, win number 50 for the Belgian, and the 26-year-old once again onward and upward here in glory.
And the way he set up that finish was beautiful. He was using a lot of good pressure, a lot of good punches, mixing up his levels, mixing up his strikes.
Look at that knee.
And he was yet to throw a knee, and that was a perfect time to throw that left knee right on the button.
Boom! Right there. Joe, what does a knee like that do to your body?
Well, it takes everything out of you. It takes your breath, it takes your soul, it takes everything out of you. And
it gives your opponent a victory. There he is, Marat Grigorian. He's number 1 in the world for a reason. A future opportunity at a world title surely awaits him. We'll make it official when the Glory Super Fight Series returns. Still to come later tonight, another French fighter in action. That's Dylan Salvador. Here's a closer look at him.
Bad boys. Back again. Bad boys. Back again. Back again. Back again.
Puis j'ai voulu faire pareil. Voilà, j'ai compris que c'était ici qu'il fallait être, s'il fallait devenir quelqu'un. Voilà, comme ici on s'entraîne même sans combat, on est toujours à la salle, on est toujours prêt.
Welcome back here to Paris, France. Highlights of our second bout tonight and our first knockout.
And it's Marat Grigorian controlling the ring, staying in front of Gomez, mixing levels, mixing strikes. According to Fight Metrics, he landed 38 punches, 15 kicks, and only one knee, and it was that one knee that was able to give him the TKO win.
Knockout number 31 for Marat Grigorian. And credit to Gomez for taking this fight, stepping up, knew that he was a big underdog, didn't care, considered it to be an honor to fight someone of the pedigree of Marat Grigorian. And round one, certainly he had his moments.
Yeah, he was doing well. He was fighting on the outside, mixing in his punches and kicks, but that constant forward pressure of Grigorian was just too much for him.
Let's make it official now. We go back into the ring, and Tim Hughes.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you watched it as it happened. Our referee, John Axwood, steps in and waves this one off with an official time of 2 minutes and 2 seconds of the second round, declaring your winner by technical knockout, Marat Grigorian.
So, he's fought him 3 times, Joe. Do you think we want or need another fight between Grigorian and Sinichak?
Well, he's solidifying his position as the #1 contender, so it eventually has to happen, but Grigorian's had a tough time, but like you just saw now, you can't count him out, and hopefully we see it again soon. I'd like to see it.
Well, coming up later, we check in with Zinedine Hammerlane. He's the French good boy, and he'll square off against Freddie Camayo, another French fighter who made his light heavyweight debut 2 months ago and scored a knockout. He'll love to get another one here tonight. But up next, it's Dylan Salvador and Sergey Adamchuk in the featherweight division. Friday, July 14th, Glory returns to the historic theater at Madison Square Garden for Glory 43 Super Fight Series. 6 huge fights across 5 divisions. There's top-ranked light heavyweight mayhem with Pavel Zuralev versus Salo Cavallari. Plus, U.S. middleweight action with New York locals Ariel Sepulveda versus Joe Taylor. Glory 43 Super Fight Series at the theater at MSG, July 14th. Don't miss it.
Time now, ladies and gentlemen, for the featherweights. Trained in Muay Thai and Russian Sambo, he burst onto the world stage, winning his first 5 bouts. Here is Sergey Adamchuk.
Try to be mess, but it's only a man. And the man's got to learn to feel
this is the fourth Sergey Adamchuk I've been on hand for, and I've maybe heard him say 4 words. He is quiet, but he's also extremely dangerous.
Oh, very dangerous. And he started off the Glory career with a bang. He was just beating everybody, got his title, defended his title, lost it, got it back to from Gabriel Varga, and he's been on the end of 2 tough split decision losses, but let me tell you, he's definitely one of the top in the featherweight division.
He is a former Glory Contender Tournament champion who fought for the belt earlier this year. He is Dylan Salvador.
Dylan Salvador dropping down to featherweight. Another fighter that's probably put on, what, 8 to 12 pounds since the weigh-in yesterday.
Oh, easily. And he came into Glory in the lightweight division. At Glory 36, he came in and won a lightweight contenders tournament. Had a chance against Sidichai. Unfortunately, didn't go his way. So he's back down to his real weight in the featherweight division. He's taking on one of the best in the division in his first fight.
Says he has no game plan tonight. I'll feel it when I know it. That's what he's going to do this evening. Here's our tail of the tape in the featherweight division. 143 pounds, both men in their 20s. Sergey Adamchuk, a former featherweight world champion, but the height, weight, and reach advantages all lean to Salvador.
Same thing with professional experience. It's Salvador that has more professional experience, but it's Sergey Adamchuk that's more known in the Glory ring and more familiar with kickboxing in the recent years.
We are once again scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in Glory's light featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner. This young featherweight brings a professional record of 34 wins with 8 losses, 14 of those wins by knockout. At 5 feet, 8 1/2 inches, 1.74 meters. He weighed in at fight time at an even 142 pounds, 64.5 kilos. Fighting tonight out of the Ukraine, he is a former Glory featherweight champion of the world and the #1 contender, Sergey Adamchuk. Here now is his opponent, standing on my left and fighting out of the white corner, a 2014 World Muay Thai champion. His record, 49 wins, 12 losses, 1 bout scored even, 21 of those wins coming by way of knockout. At 5 feet, 9 1/2 inches, 1.76 meters. He weighed in at 142 1/2 pounds, 64.8 kilos. Fighting tonight out of Lyon, France. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Dylan Salvador. Once again, your referee is Paul Nichols.
Gentlemen, you understand the rules that you're fighting to. Protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves if you like. Break.
Judge.
Sergey Adamchuk debuted by taking a fight on 24 hours notice back at Glory 22, and he beat Marat Grigorian, and you just saw how dangerous Marat was. So Adamchuk can be a big problem for any man he fights, and he's wearing the black gloves tonight. Salvador wearing white.
Adamchuk always stays prepared, and he'll take fights on last-minute notice, whether it's in featherweight or lightweight. But tonight you can see both of these guys are southpaws, and they're used to fighting orthodox fighters, so it's going to be a very interesting fight to see how they fight another southpaw.
Not only that, but the one style that seems to give Adamchuk fits is Muay Thai, and that's Salvador's specialty.
And Salvador does come from a Muay Thai background, having fought guys like Buakaw, Sidichai. So he's very experienced in Muay Thai, but his kickboxing is very impressive. You'll see him use his boxing really well, his head movement. So he comes from a good team that allows him to adapt between the rules.
One of the main rules differences between Glory Kickboxing Muay Thai is that you can't throw elbows, obviously, and you can't hold the clinch except to throw a knee.
See, there's Salvador using that boxing.
And Salvador's man bun is long gone, at least pieces of it. Just like the boxer David Lemieux out of Canada, Joe. Long hair. Why would you even want to deal with it in the ring? You got enough problems with a guy trying to punch you in the face. Well, that was a good high kick, but it was blocked by Salvador.
Nice combination by Adamchuk, changing levels.
Adamchuk's trainer, Mike Passanier, one of the most famous trainers in the world, trainer of Badr Hari, of course, says, listen, I wish every single fighter I had was like Adamchuk. He comes to the gym, does all his work, never complains, never talks, and goes home.
He's a good student, and he studies a lot too. He watches a lot of boxing, and you can see through his Glory career he's evolved in his footwork.
Paul Nichols warning Dylan Salvador. It's another difference between Muay Thai and Glory kickboxing. No sweeps or throws. Spinning action from Salvador. Not quite what he envisioned.
Salvador needs to be a little bit more careful in these punch exchanges.
Salvador seems perfectly fine just leaning back against the ropes. Would you advise that?
Well, he's been doing well when he's attacking, and he's landed some good low kicks. So I'm hoping to see more of those.
Not a bad first round, at least from an entertainment perspective. Let's meet the fighters here in our featherweight showdown on our Glory Super Fight Series. Salvador, a southpaw, as is his opponent, said he decided to become a fighter after seeing Kickboxer. So many of our kickboxers have said the exact same thing.
I think all of us were inspired by that movie. That's why I got into it.
Jean Van Damme. Jean-Claude Van Damme. I forgot one of the words, one of the names. Of course, Adamchuk, a former Glory World Featherweight Champion. He trains at Mike's Gym. He also has a law degree. He's smart.
And he uses that approach with his kickboxing. They always constantly watching old school boxing tapes with Mike. So he's a student of the game.
And there's Stephanie letting us know that we're about to enter round 2. You can follow her on Twitter and on Instagram. What changes would you like to see for these fighters as they enter the second stanza?
Well, I think Adamchuk's doing a good job at being active with his boxing, and I think it's starting to get to Salvador, where I'd like to see Salvador keep up with those kicks on the outside. He seems to be doing the best damage with them.
4 of the 5 judges gave that first round to Sergey Adamchuk. Again, those are the official scores, and both corners can see them if they choose. Nice boxing skills again from Adamchuk.
That's his biggest difference so far. He's throwing multiple punches. He's not just throwing a single punch, he's throwing in combination.
And so far, Adamchuk has thrown about 20 more strikes than has Salvador.
Salvador's realizing he needs to use his kicks, so he's staying defensive to the head and trying to chop away with his kicks.
Oh, and a big overhand right there from Sergey Adamchuk. I think Salvador thought the exchange was over, but the Ukrainian had other ideas.
And he changed levels with it. He was hitting the body, then mixed up to the head. In the past few fights, we've seen Adamchuk really use a little bit more movement, footwork, but I really like this pressure style he's showing.
Nice high kick there from Adamchuk again. Little scissor knee from Dylan Salvador, who's certainly having fun in there. Not sure he's winning, but he's having fun.
You can hear Big Mike in the corner telling Adamchuk to make points, be more active, keep throwing.
Look at the landed punches. Adamchuk 33 to Salvador's 3. Mike Passanier in the corner yelling at Adamchuk to throw combinations, not just single punches. A high High kick from Salvador gets a big ooh and ah from this crowd. And one from Salvador as well.
Not one from me.
Oh, spinning back fist just missed.
He needs to be careful that elbow doesn't hit.
And now they're exchanging hooks, but maybe Salvador realizes he's got to do something here.
He's very experienced. He knows that he's got to be a little bit more active.
There's a knee.
He's mixing in a lot of knees at the end of this round.
Look at Big Mike. Ready to hop up in that corner and let Sergey have it. Actually, he's yelling at Paul Nichols.
He doesn't
with an elbow.
He doesn't like the clinch.
Elbow. Pay attention, man. Come on. No, only strike. Yeah, this is good. Listen, this round because he makes too much points with the kicks. So he kick, you need to go make points back more. Yes? You're a little bit ahead now. Yes? But it's important that you keep on fighting, and when you get your head, stand up. Don't stay low. Yes? You okay? Water?
You can hear Mike Passanier saying, listen, when your head gets down there, pop right back up or you're going to eat a knee.
Yeah, he's got to stay tall if you know Salvador's using those knees. Good advice by Big Mike.
Oh, he knows what he's doing. The third and final round here. Let's see if Adamchuk heeds his corner's advice.
What Big Mike was saying is Salvador's using the kicks and he's scoring with his kicks. But Adamchuk needs to counter back and score more points. Throwing combinations, not singles.
So 2 judges have the score even, while 3 have it 2 rounds to none for Adamchuk. So it's go time here for Salvador. Salvador with several dozen friends and family in the crowd. In fact, his father will be here, says it's his biggest fan. He's his biggest fan. But his mom is noticeably absent because Salvador says she refuses to watch me even on television. The only way she will is if I tell her not only did I win, Mom, but I didn't hardly get hit at all.
That's exactly how my mother was. Can't blame them.
And now they're exchanging spinning back fists. Nice combination there from Adamchuk, but Salvador answers back with one of his own, whose hair now is beginning to resemble Sideshow Bob. Oh, and there's a back fist.
That one seemed to do damage.
And an uppercut, and now Adamchuk really racking up the points.
He's attacking that body. Salvador putting the pressure on now. He's controlling the ring.
In my limited French skills, I could still hear Salvador's corner telling him, let's go, let's go, let's go. A minute to go here. Round 3. The smile is gone now from Dylan Salvador's countenance.
Now he knows he's behind, so he's switched on that serious face.
Good combination from the Frenchman. But according to 3 judges' scorecards, it may be too late. Passanier did not like that sweeping rolling thunder there from Adamchuk. That just missed.
Yeah, he seems to do that in the 3rd round in all of his fights.
It's certainly a high-risk move, but if it lands, that is certainly spectacular offense. 10 seconds left. The right hand connects to the jaw of Salvador. And that will do it. It appears Adamchuk has gotten the nod here tonight. Salvador either unaware or non-believing. The official decision when we return to Paris. Coming up later tonight in our main event, Johan Ledon makes his Glory debut. Here's more on the Frenchman.
Tous les jours, tous les week-ends, tout le temps, je sais pas comment il fait, franchement, et vraiment tout le temps avec ses boxeurs, tout le temps.
We're back here in Paris, France. Dylan Salvador and Sergey Adamchuk. Plenty of highlights to look at here.
Yeah, in the early rounds and the activity of Adamchuk was doing a lot of good damage. He was scoring more points with his boxing and keeping controlling of the ring. As the round started progressing, it was Salvador trying to mix in some knees, but still it was Adamchuk doing a good job scoring more, countering more, being first. But in that third round, Salvador knew he had to do something, so that third round was all Salvador coming forward, being more active, trying to be more busy. But Adamchuk did a good job at controlling the pace, controlling his distance, and ultimately, according to the open scoring, possibly taking the win.
The men combining to throw over 300 total strikes. Adamchuk, though, with the edge of the landed strikes, 71 to 55. Strikes absorbed, that's the distribution, head and body. As for Salvador, he primarily targeted the legs. Tim Hughes with our official scores.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of kickboxing, we go to the judges' scorecard. Here are the totals from our 5 ringside judges. 3 judges see about 30-27. The remaining 2 score at 29-28. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Sergey Adamchuk.
You can see the delight on his face, Joe. He was just as confident that he beat Pet Panamorung in their last fight, but he didn't get the scores to go his way. Tonight he did.
Well, his last 2 losses were split decision losses that he thought he's won, so he's got to feel relieved that he got the victory in the decisions.
So Big Mike with a big smile here in Paris. Coming up later, we check in with the big boys in the heavyweight division. France's Nicolas Wamba looks to put a charge into his home crowd as he faces Brazil's Renato Diniz, who knocks out 2/3 of the opponents he faces. But up next, it's France on France violence as Hammerlane meets Camayo.
GloryShop.com is your stop for all things Glory Kickboxing. Represent your favorite world-class strikers and get your own t-shirts, hoodies, hats, training gear, and more. Join your favorite fight club and get your Glory gear today. GloryShop.com. Tradition, style, glory.
We next turn our attention to the light heavyweights. Coming off a win at Glory 40 in Copenhagen just a month ago, welcome back Freddie Camayo.
Freddie Camayo, the number 6 light heavyweight in Glory today. He certainly looks the part, and another one of those fighters who gets a lot bigger after the weigh-in.
Yeah, he's originally a heavyweight, and in the heavyweight division, he's fought the best. To name a few, Peter Ernst, Daniel Guida, Gokhan Saki, Semi Schill. So he's fought the top in the heavyweight division, but he was always the lighter of the heavyweight, so this move to light heavyweight has been a very successful one. He's 1-0 in Glory as a light heavyweight, and 3-0 total outside the organization.
His nickname is Crazy Horse, the same place that Joe and I went last night to watch a French play, we'll call it.
His unique style of Muay Thai and Karate have been giving his division foes fits. It's Zinedine Hammer Lane.
Camayo number 6, Hammerlane number 5. It's almost like an elimination bout. One of these guys is moving up the rankings. One of them has taken a few steps back.
Yeah, and it's Zinedine who's done a good job at kind of winning when he needs to, but unfortunately he suffered some tough losses. But let me tell you, Zinedine Hammer Lane has a lot of power, and you've seen if he lands that overhand right on you, you're going out. So expect that power to be one of his biggest advantages, but he has a karate and Muay Thai background, so his kicks are very vicious as well.
57 wins, 36 by KO. He is the good boy, Zinedine Hammer Lane. This is our only all-French affair tonight. France versus France in the light heavyweight division, 209 pounds, 95 kilogram maximum. Both men in their 30s, but Camayo certainly has more wear and tear considering the brutal encounters he's had in his career.
Yeah, in that heavyweight division, he took a lot of damage, but he also has more fight experience. But you can't count out Hammer Lane, who also has 72 professional fights. And us North American fighters, that's a crazy amount of fights for both guys.
Freddie Camayo is a scary, scary dude when you meet him in person. Trust us on that one. We'll see how he deals with the good boy in a minute. Here's Tim Hughes.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this light heavyweight matchup scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner, a 3-time French national champion who brings a 70% knockout ratio back into the Glory ring. His professional record, 68 wins, 23 losses, 1 bout scored even, and 47 of those wins coming by way of knockout. At 6 feet 2 inches tall, 1.88 meters, he weighed in at 205 1/2 pounds, 93.3 kilos. Fighting tonight out of France, ladies and gentlemen, it's Freddie Crazy Horse Camayo. His opponent fighting out of the white corner, a 2-time European champion and Glory Contender Tournament champion. His professional record, 57 wins, 15 losses, and 36 career knockouts. At 6 feet 3.5 inches, 1.92 meters, he weighed in at fight time at 206 1/2 pounds, 93.7 kilos. He too fights tonight for France. Ladies and gentlemen, it's good boy, Zinedine Hammer Lane. And the third man inside the ropes, your referee in charge is John Axwood.
Okay guys, you know the rules. Break is break, stop is stop. Any questions? Touch club.
You can hear the rumblings throughout the Accor Hotels arena here. They're expecting something special between Hammer Lane and Camayo. Let's see if they get what they want. Scheduled for 3 rounds. Hammer Lane in the white, Chimaev, who comes out firing, wears black.
And in Chimaev's past fights, he was a little slower starter. But today, he looks like he's coming out with a little bit more aggression.
Both of these men can certainly end a fight with one punch or kick. Look at that front kick from Hammerlane.
I feel Hammerlane's biggest advantage is staying on the outside. He's very long, he's very tall, so he should be picking away on the outside with punches and that low kick. There's that right hand he's known for.
And a knee too, and Hammerlane may end it right here. Chimaev backed up against the corner.
We've seen this from Chimaev in his past fights, but he tends to come out of this. Let's see if Zinedine can finish him here.
Certainly major damage being done here for Hammerlane. Chimaev still hasn't been able to fire back with any real conviction.
Nice high kick from close range from Hammerlane. Trying to land that right hand.
But when you're a veteran of nearly 100 fights, you know how to weather the storm.
And we saw a little bit of this with Chimaev's fight against Xavier Vigny, a little bit in that first round with Hadar
Ahmad.
So he's just staying defensive, and as the rounds go on, he tends to open up a little bit.
Chimaev still doesn't look right, Joe. Nice high kick from Hammerlane.
Good mix of his strikes.
Everything's going right for Hammerlane so far. Normally, you wouldn't want to sit down on your punches against someone like Chimaev, but Chimaev doesn't have much in his return fire. There's no zip on his punches.
No, he's not really countering back, so that's why Zinedine's doing a good job at attacking and just staying out of range.
Another front kick and a right hand there from Chimaev, his best punch of the round.
This is how Chimaev fights, and you always think he's out, but
he may be out! What a shot from Hammerlane! And Chimaev is face down on the canvas!
Just as I said that.
And it's over! Chimaev stumbling through the ropes! What a performance by the good boy!
And just as I talked to his team, they promised if Zinedine's gonna land a shot, Chimaev's going right out, and there it shows.
Zinedine Hammerlane with perhaps the best performance of his career. A weathered veteran who's been in some massive moments in his career just got lit up by Hammerlane.
And he just started finding success with his boxing. But then all of a sudden, Hammerlane with a beautifully timed, looked like a left uppercut, then right high kick. Oh, it was a nice little right hook, and finished with that right high kick.
And boy, Chimaev, though, showing a lot of heart, trying to get up from that knockdown. Hopefully we can see it on one of these replays. Did his best to make it onto his feet, but just couldn't get up. And there's the reaction from Hammerlane's corner. And that's what it means to Hammerlane, who's nearly in tears as he's just beaten Freddie Chimaev in his home country.
Well, he's coming off a loss against Machado, so he really needed a good knockout in France.
And he got it. We'll make it official next. You just saw our second knockout of the night. Our first one came courtesy of Marat Grigorian, who's backstage with Whitney Miller.
I'm here with Marat Grigorian. Congratulations, that was a huge win. You landed a giant body shot at the very end of the fight to end it. Can you walk us through that a little bit?
Yes, of course. I train with my trainer like this, with knees, with high kicks, because we saw that what I do, I want to counter that. And if he countered, he goes open with his body. Now, it's happened.
People love to watch you fight, and we can see why. What's next for you?
I don't know. Hopefully it's the Glory title belt.
Congratulations. Thanks so much.
We're back here in Paris, and an exquisite performance from Zinedine Hammerlane, Joe.
Yeah, Hammerlane was doing awesome. He was just doing a good job at picking his shots, and then all of a sudden he timed a perfectly timed right hook. As Chimaev was going down, he threw a nice high kick to finish the fight. Beautiful performance by Zinedine.
Zinedine Hammerlane with the 37th knockout of his professional career, and again, mad props to Freddie Chimaev, who seemed completely down and out, but look at him trying to get up here, thought he could get it done, and then just fell right through the ropes, and that was all she wrote. A night to remember for Zinedine. Tim Hughes makes it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout comes to an end at 2 minutes, 35 seconds of the opening round, and it ends by knockout for your winner, Zinedine Hammerlane.
Well, Joe, what's the future hold now for Zinedine Hammerlane in the light heavyweight division?
Well, he just keeps showing that he's got that power, so a lot of the light heavyweights in this division got to watch out for that power, and I'd like to see the good boy work his way back up to the #1 contendership, but he's showing a lot of promise, a lot of power, and I'm excited to see Hammerlane back.
With performances like this, you can't hold him back for very long.
Every time he hits you, he has a highlight of a knockout.
Coming up later in our main event, Switzerland's Johan Cangelo steps back in the ring looking for another title shot, but to do that, he has to beat one of the best kickboxers in French history, 157-fight veteran, Johan Ledon. But coming up next, heavyweights collide. Will we see another big knockout? Nicholas Wamba and Renata Diniz when we return. Friday, July 14th, Glory returns to the historic theater at Madison Square Garden for Glory 43 Super Fight Series. 6 huge fights across 5 divisions. There's top-ranked light heavyweight mayhem with Pavel Zuralev versus Salo Cavallari. Plus, U.S. middleweight action with New York locals Ariel Sepulveda versus Joe Taylor. Glory 43 Super Fight Series at the theater at MSG, July 14th. Don't miss it.
Time now, ladies and gentlemen, for the heavyweights. Winner of 2 of his last 3 Glory bouts, he finds himself knocking on the door of the top 10 of the world rankings. It's Jonata Diniz.
Interesting song choice here by Diniz. If this doesn't get you pumped up for a heavyweight fight, I don't know what song will, Joe.
Well, he's feeling it.
Maybe it kicks in here. I'm not familiar with the Brazilian hip-hop scene or classical scene. Either way, I do know that Jonata Diniz does have 10 wins by knockout out of his 15 victories. That's a 67% knockout ratio. He can really bring it.
And Diniz always has been in the position of being an underdog, and some of his biggest highlights of his career were going the distance with Daniel Guida. He has a loss, but he was able to stay 3 rounds with Rico Verhoeven. He's recently fought, Tomas Mosny, Hesdy Gerges, so he's an underdog in most of his fights, so don't count him out.
He settled a grudge match with a win over Nordine Mahadine in Nice at Glory 35. Here comes Nicholas Wamba.
Nicholas Wamba from Montpellier, France. That's about a 4-hour train ride. Told us a lot of his family did make the trek up. Expects about 25 to 30 fans here tonight. And he has no illusions here. He knows this is going to be a tough fight for him.
Yeah, he knows he's going to really have to put on the volume, the pressure, the aggression. And we saw him last time we were here in France at Glory 35 Nice. He had a tough fight against Mahadine, but he's constantly coming forward. He constantly throws a lot of volume. So you're going to see a lot of volume output to try to slow down the Brazilian.
Wamba does have great mobility and speed for a big man, which he hopes to display tonight. Use that to his advantage as we look at our tail of the tape here in the heavyweight division. It's France versus Brazil. 29 years old, Nicholas Wamba. Denise, just 25. And look at the weight differential, 20 pounds for the Brazilian. He also has a 5-inch reach advantage despite being the shorter fighter.
Yeah, that's surprising to me. And that professional experience leans towards Nicholas Wamba. But as I mentioned in Denise's walkout, this won't be his first time being the underdog.
Fighting out of the black corner, he is a 3-time Brazilian national champion. His record, 15 wins, 5 losses, 10 of those wins coming by way of knockout. At 6 feet 3.5 inches, 1.92 meters. He weighed in at fight time at 249.5 pounds, 113.3 kilos. He's here in Paris tonight, fighting out of Curitiba, Brazil. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Jonathan Diniz. Here now is his opponent, standing on my left and fighting out of the white corner, a WKN European and World Champion. His record, 48 wins with just 7 losses, and 22 of those wins coming by knockout. At 6 feet 5 inches tall, 1.95 meters, he weighed in at an even 230 pounds, 104.5 kilos. Fighting tonight out of France, ladies and gentlemen, it's Nicholas Junior Wamba. And the referee in charge of the Glory Ring is Paul Nichols.
Gentlemen, you understand the rules that you're fine to. Protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Do you have any questions? Touch gloves if you like. Push back. Judge.
Who do you give the edge to in this fight, Joe?
Well, I'm going to give the edge to Diniz. I just think he has that power style on the inside that could do damage, but Wamba's great at staying and getting you to wear you out, constantly coming forward, constantly throwing. But the power advantage I'm going to give to Diniz, where the volume and the constant pressure goes to Wamba.
Wamba is a switch hitter, constantly switching his stances. Diniz, orthodox, right-handed. And although he does come from Curitiba, Brazil, one of the great fighting cities in the world, quite frankly, he's currently training at a Hemmers gym in the Netherlands.
He's focusing on those low kicks. Hemmers gym special.
And Wamba's certainly one of the lighter heavyweights for Glory. But that gives him an edge in speed and power. Or actually, I should just say speed, maybe not so much the power. Maybe I should have gone with finesse. Diniz outweighs him by about 20 pounds. Wamba said this will be a thinking man's fight. What did he mean by that, Joe?
Well, I feels it's going to be a technical fight. So he's already trying to use front kicks to keep Diniz away, because it's no surprise that Diniz wants to get on the inside and let his hands go.
How frustrating is it when you continuously get hit by front kicks?
It is frustrating, but as a pressure fighter, you need to understand that fighters want to keep you away with those kind of weapons, so you got to train to counter against those.
I told you, Joe, if we ever somehow got into a fight, it would be all jabs, push kicks, and front kicks from me. That's the only way I'd stay alive.
You'd be walking into my low kick.
There's a low kick from Wamba. Denise teed off. The first right hand wasn't that effective, but the second one certainly was.
Yeah, you threw multiple right hands there.
Nice low kick from Wamba.
He's really smothering Denise, which is really fatiguing Denise.
Wamba currently the 18th ranked heavyweight in Glory. Denise number 11. So sort of like a moving day. Both men hope a victory tonight will propel them closer to the top 10. For Denise, he might even jump into the top 10. And, well, this is not the job I'd want, to readjust that cup. But someone's got to do it. Here we go. Wamba back in action. So Wamba heads back for some more due diligence in his corner, and it gives us a chance to learn a little bit more about each fighter. We start first with the Frenchman, Joe.
And it's Nicolas Wamba that's really using that mobility and speed that you're seeing, and that's what's making him really successful in this fight. Switch hitter, meaning he'll fight orthodox, switch to southpaw, constantly try to mix things up with you. We saw him last at Glory 35 Nice, scoring a unanimous decision over Mahdi. Denise, on the other hand, as you can tell, he's coming for war. He's coming to push the pace, get on the inside, land some good power punches and low kicks. Three-time Brazilian champion, and he's been in the ring with the top of the division early on in his career, so that's given him a lot of motivation and confidence to fight these later fights in his career.
And there's Sweden's finest, our Glory girl, Bella, saying hello. You can see her or follow her on Instagram, Twitter, and or Snapchat. Round two, Denise and Wamba. Denise takes a tumble backwards. Joe, a close round one for sure. Who did you give the edge to?
Well, I have the edge to Wamba, just being a little bit more active with his points, being able to score and move, and really shutting down that aggressive power style of Denise.
And all five of our judges agree with you. Round one goes to Wamba.
That's the thing with relying on your power. If you have a fighter who's good at keeping space and range on the outside, you got to be a little bit more active. You can't just constantly rely on the power shots. Be first and put some combinations together.
Our French crowd so far has seen two knockouts, one devastatingly delivered by Zinedine Hammerling. And Wamba still having issues with his cup. You ever had problems with your cup, Joe?
Well, I feel a lot of fighters should really get the tie steel cup where you tie the string up the back and it doesn't move. So
sort of like a chastity belt back in the day.
There you go.
Medieval times. So much great history here in Paris. We had a chance to rove around town yesterday. It's really fascinating just to cruise around and look at all the beautiful architecture here that this city has to offer. And tonight, these two men with granite chins showing their mettle, and Wamba needs an intervention. Nice work by our producer not to go too low with this camera angle. Minute to go here in round two.
So what Wamba's doing really well is he's not going to just stand in the pocket and exchange with the knees. He'll stay outside or really close. He's moving his feet, taking angles.
Right. Nice job of these heavyweights to break on their own without the referee having to intervene. A lot of times that's not the case.
Wamba in southpaw. Nice movement, angles, head movement.
Landed strikes are about even right now. 36 for Wamba, 37 for Deniz. Round could still be up for grabs with 10 seconds to go. Another close round. Joe, dare I ask who you gave the edge to there?
Well, I still got to give the edge to Wamba there. I just feel he's doing a good job at controlling the fight. He's not really letting Deniz establish any output. He's either closing distance, staying out, using good angles, the way he's moving, mixing in his strikes and his low kicks. So I still got to give the advantage to Wamba.
Wamba, a French-born athlete, his father from Congo. He was a champion boxer at the light heavyweight division back in 1991, so some pedigree in the family of Nicholas Wamba. Here's some action from the second round.
Yeah, there's that front kick that has been doing a good job for Wamba to keep Deniz away. It's a frustrating front kick, but that's where Deniz has to be able to counter, get outside and move around, maybe mix in some angles. But good job at Wamba in establishing his pace, his angles, his fight.
Let's see how the judges scored this, and we'll learn if Deniz needs a knockdown here in the third round. He lost round one, according to all 5 judges. There's the bell, literally. Here we go. Round 3 of 3 in the heavyweight division. Wamba in the white gloves, Deniz wearing black. The judges, again, unanimously for Wamba, so Deniz, down 20-18 across the board, has to knock Wamba down.
Wamba really showcasing some flashy kicks. You've seen some hook kicks, side kicks.
Ooh, there's a head kick.
That's a better strike. Deniz has been going low both rounds. Change the level of that kick.
More clubbing punches being thrown from Deniz rather than crisp shots.
Yeah, he's trying to get his weight behind that punch.
There's a nice jab, or a straight left, depending on what stance he was in, from Wamba. You can sense the urgency, though, from the Brazilian. Knows he's down by two rounds.
Yeah, he landed 2 good low kicks when Wamba was in a southpaw, but Wamba's doing a good job at landing low kicks of his own.
And another low blow as Wamba readjusting himself. Quite the wardrobe malfunction we're seeing tonight. Both men giving it their all, that's for sure. They are extremely busy. Nearly 300 total strikes thrown by both men. They'll certainly eclipse that mark. Both men taking the opportunity to inhale, take a deep breath for the final flurry here. Less than a minute to go. Final round, heavyweight division.
And according to Fight Metrics, the stats are pretty close. Both have thrown 145 strikes. Wamba landing 59, Deniz 51. But watching live just seems like Wamba's doing a lot more damage, being more active.
Seems like his technique is a lot cleaner as well.
Yeah, and he's mixing it up well. He's using his boxing, angles, low kicks.
What a knee!
Flying scissor knees.
Denise says, no, I don't have time to shake hands. I got to get busy. 10 seconds to go. Lands a knee of his own. So a good performance by Wamba, and Denise just couldn't find the magic weapon to put Wamba on his backside, which is what he needed to do according to our judges.
Wamba looked incredible. In my opinion, he fought better than I've seen him in his last 2 fights. Very strategic, very technical, good strike selection. Good job, Nicholas Wamba.
The official decision when we return here to Paris.
GloryShop.com is your stop for all things Glory Kickboxing. Represent your favorite world-class strikers and get your own t-shirts, hoodies, hats, training gear, and more. Join your favorite fight club and get your Glory gear today. GloryShop.com. Tradition, style, glory.
Welcome back here to the Accords Hotel Arena. Our heavyweight bout is over, and Nicholas Wamba did what it took to win.
Yeah, and it was just being constantly active, controlling the range and the space of the fight, either staying outside using front kicks, jabs. On the inside, he kind of pushed the action, made it hard for Denise to do anything, mixing angles, head movements, low kicks. Just did a good job at being very difficult to figure out. Even trying to showcase some of his spin kicks, heel kicks, flying knees.
And here is our strike count. Honada Denise, 55 landed compared to Nicholas Wamba with 70, and that's what the judges saw for the most part. Wamba a little bit more busy and a little bit more accurate.
And you can see was Wamba doing a good job at mixing up the levels of his attacks, but ultimately it was Denise taking most of the shots to the head.
Our official decision now from Tim Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of kickboxing, we go to the judges' scorecard to our 5 ringside judges. All 5 see it the same and score the bout 30-27, a unanimous decision for your winner, Nicholas Wamba!
No big surprise there, Joe. Nicholas Wamba with the win. There's our CEO and owner, Pierre Anderon.
Sitting beside French kickboxing legend Jerome Le Banner.
Somebody's got to tell Jerome to look at the camera. The red light was on, my man. Your chance to shine. Speaking of shining, Wamba did that by beating Honada Denise, who was ranked 7 spots higher than he was in the heavyweight division. And who will shine next? It's time for our main event. Yoan Congolo, Yoan Ledon, and our welterweight featured bout. Let's jump in and take a look at our welterweight ranking. Cedric Doumbé, of course, the champion. He beat Yoan Congolo in their recent title bout. And the rest of the list, as seen here, Joe.
Yeah, and the welterweight division has been very interesting lately. We've seen a lot of success from Murdo Grunhart. Nicky losing to Doumbé, who's going to have his shot again. Haruk Grigorian. A lot of good names in the welterweight division, and just the division keeps getting more stacked.
His knockout in Paris last year earned him one of the great knockouts of all of 2016. Here is Johan Lidon.
Él me pintaba las manos y la cara de azul. Y de provisa le pinto la vida me.
He considers himself a French Renaissance man. He lives the life, says he works hard when he's in the gym. No one has his work ethic, but outside the gym, he enjoys fine wine, fine women, and just enjoying life down by the lake. Fishes almost every day.
Yeah, I got to see that Inside Glory segment of him fishing and learning a little bit of his lures from that episode. But man, this guy's a beast. He's got a lot of experience to his record. He's got over 150 professional fights. He's fought the best in the world and some notable fighters. He's fought Marat Grigorian, Karim Gadji, Yotsenklai, John Wayne Parr, Doumbé, Cosmo Alexander. So this guy has been in the top of the division for a while, but this is his first time we're seeing him in glory.
Like a fine Swiss timepiece, he has the distinction of having never been stopped in the ring. Here comes Yoan Kangolo.
The #1 welterweight contender in the world today. When he was growing up, he was beaten down by a bigger boy when he was a kid. In fact, ended up in the hospital with serious injuries. Said he was determined to take revenge. He learned karate and said that moment, as bad as it was, may have been the turning point of his life. It instilled in him that drive, that determination to be the best that he could be, and here he is on an international stage.
You see that in his work ethic. If you watch some of his training, and he's constantly training, he's constantly fighting. Even outside of the glory ring, he's 6-0 as a boxer, but in the glory ring he has 9 fights, and he's fought everyone in the division. He's had 2 cracks at the world title. He's won a contenders tournament, lost in the finals of the other, so he's got tons of experience.
Kangolo always giving thanks for what he's achieved in his career, but a win tonight and he could achieve even more. He wants another shot at the tip top of the division, and that of course is Cedric Doumbé. Here's our tail of the tape for this, our featured bout on the Glory Super Fight Series, Switzerland versus France in the welterweight division. And as you can see, the height and reach edge, as slight as it is, favors Lidon.
Same thing when we look at professional experience. There's a big gap in the experience for Lidon, but 73 professional fights is a lot of experience from Kangolo, and that doesn't even count his boxing experience. So very technical fight ahead of us.
Both men with relatively high KO percentages. Here's how they will score the fight. The judges, it's number of knockdowns, cumulative damage inflicted, number of clean scoring strikes with an emphasis on spectacular techniques, followed by normal techniques and degree of aggressiveness in that order.
And again, just like the other fights, it will be open scoring. Judges using the 10-point must system, and you'll see on the screen after each round who's winning.
How do the odds makers see it? According to MMA Odds Breaker, Yoan Kangolo nearly a 2-1 favorite over Frenchman Johan Lidon.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your headline super fight of the evening. 3 rounds in the Glory welterweight division. And like the fireworks over Eiffel Tower, these two bring the power of a combined 123 career knockouts. in a bout sanctioned by the International Sport Kickboxing Association in association with the FFKMDA. At the opening bell, your referee is John Axwood. From Paris to Portland, Glory kickboxing fans are watching in all corners of the globe. It's time for Glory! Introducing first, fighting out of the black corner, a three-time Muay Thai world champion and five-time French champion. His professional record impressive, 123 wins with just 34 losses. 77 of those wins come by way of knockout. At 5 feet 11 inches tall, 1.80 meters, he weighed in at 168 1/2 pounds, 76.6 kilos. Fighting tonight out of France, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Yoel, the Lumberjack Ledon! Here now is his opponent, fighting out of the white corner, a Glory Contender Tournament champion and two-time Swiss and European champion. His professional record, 64 wins with 9 losses and 46 career knockouts. At 5 feet 10 inches tall, 1.78 meters, he weighed in at fight time at 169 1/2 pounds and even 77 kilos. Fighting tonight out of Lausanne, Switzerland, ladies and gentlemen, here is Yoel Kangolo! And once again, your referee is John Axwood.
Okay guys, you know the rules. Break is break, stop is stop. Any questions? Step back.
All right, Joe, which Johan do you like better in this fight?
Well, I've seen a lot more of Kangolo lately, more than Ledon, so I'm going to give the edge to Kangolo, just being more active lately.
Since his loss to Doumbé, Kangolo had a boxing match, won that, said that boosted his confidence, and he's ready to step back in the ring here tonight. This is our main event, scheduled for 3 rounds. Kangolo wearing the white gloves, Ledon in the black. And keep in mind, Kangolo just lost to our champion Doumbé. Ledon beat our champion Doumbé 3 years ago. Obviously, Doumbé has gotten a lot better since then. He's still only 24 years old.
But Ledon has fought everybody in his weight classes. Doesn't matter who, doesn't matter where. With 157 professional fights, you're going to see him really try to stay in the face of Kangolo, mix in his strikes, and watch out for those low kicks that he has.
You mentioned Kangolo being more active. How about Ledon fighting 2 weeks ago? And not just once, he won 2 fights in the same night and said, listen, Glory, I'm ready to go.
Pretty sure he said he had something like 3 fights in 1 month.
That's how you rack up over 150 career appearances, which Ledon has done at the age of 34. But how much wear and tear does he have on that frame?
Well, it all depends on how much damage he took in those fights, but he looks fine. He told us he's fine.
Invited me and Joe over to his house next time we come here to share a bottle of wine and to fish. Sounds nice to me. Big body kick from Ledon.
Ledon's doing a good job at mixing his strikes. Keeping active on the outside with his boxing, mixing in good body kicks.
Good uppercut followed by a kick there from Ledon. Uppercut didn't quite land flush. That right hand did.
I like the way he's mixing that right kick and that right hand. Good inside left kicks and body kicks by Kangolo.
Ledon constantly swiping at his own face. Don't know if he's got an issue with his nose or just a nervous tick.
Just landed a good low kick.
Jab from Kangolo. Congolo knows how important this fight is. Got to get right back on the horse after you lose a big title fight. Needs this victory.
Nice job at Congolo being more active and busy.
Exchanges some kicks, the crowd eating it up. Entertaining first round here from Paris, France. Glory returns to the United States in New York City Friday, July 14th for Glory 43 New York. It's the theater at Madison Square Garden. Top-ranked fighters in the featherweight, lightweight, middleweight, and light heavyweight divisions take center stage, including Pavel Zuralev and Salo Cavallari. It's all coming your way at the theater at Madison Square Garden, New York City, July 14th. Close round one for sure, Joe.
Yeah, that was definitely a tough first round. Not sure how the judges have scored that. It seemed like LeDon was doing a good job at controlling the center of the ring, but Congolo did better near the end of the round.
Good crowd here tonight in the Core Hotels Arena. Our hotel right next door, the Fighter Hotel, and a lot of buzz. There was a huge outdoor festival on Thursday night. About 1,000 people attended, most of them kickboxing fans. According to the judges, all 5 score it for Yohan Congolo. Good start for him.
Yeah, it was that at the end of that first round, he started being a little bit more active, started landing a little bit more with his punches and kicks.
LeDon told us he's generally a slower starter. He likes to figure his opponents out. Prefers 5-round fights where he can really sink into it.
Well, that's his Muay Thai experience. All his Muay Thai fights have been 5 rounds.
But according to our judges, he's got to win the next 2 rounds.
And you see every time LeDon throws his kicks, Congolo's hands are falling. We'll see if LeDon recognizes that and goes high with his kicks.
Interesting story about LeDon. He was offered an opportunity or a fight at Glory 22. He couldn't take it, and in stepped a young man named Doumbé, who of course would go on to win the title. And LeDon feels that it should be him at the top of the division and vows to get there after winning this fight here tonight.
Nice combination, kick, punch, kick from LeDon.
Absolutely. The best moment of the fight so far for LeDon, but Congolo immediately steps up his game.
He's being busier, and when he's busy, he's being successful.
That jab snap Congolo's head back.
I like how he attacks that back leg of LeDon.
But you're right, look how when Congolo steps forward, he just throws a lot of punches. He's thrown about 30 more strikes than LeDon has in this fight. There's the proof. I'm not just making it up. Good uppercut from Congolo.
Beautifully timed right uppercut.
A solid second round for Congolo. And outside of that 10-second flurry from LeDon, the Swissman doing very well.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of good damage, mixing strikes. But it seems to be mostly coming from his boxing. And I like when he uses his left low kicks to the back leg. Congolo switching stances.
Body shot from Congolo, and another. 1 round to go.
That was definitely a more dominant round for Congolo, landing a lot more, being busier, doing the most damage. So I'm sure the judges saw that the same way.
Joe, the welterweight division, one of our perhaps most stacked divisions in all of Glory, so a big fight here tonight for Congolo to establish his position.
Oh yeah, especially against that experience of Ladon. It's just going to show, keep Congolo as that #1 contender and keep him as one of the biggest threats in the division.
Ladon's corner will soon learn exactly where he stands in this fight. Open scoring in effect here in Paris.
Fight.
3 minutes left. Who's it going to be? Congolo or Ladon? Judges scored all for Congolo again, so it's 20-18 on all 5 scorecards. Ladon needs a 10-8 round here.
I think in order to do that, he just needs to sit on his punches and his combinations a little bit more. Keep up with those kick, punch, kick combinations. Nice knee by Ladon.
Congolo willing to just stand right in the middle of the ring and trade with Ladon. Not intimidated by his power. That was Johan Congolo's son. His brother, rather, excuse me. His brother in his ring, his much younger brother. Been with him all week. Leg kicks, 26-8 for Congolo.
A successful flurry from Ladon there with his boxing.
Step back.
Not a lot of mustard on the shots from Ladon, who takes a step back and falls to the ground. He's right back up. No sweeps.
Yeah, you can kick the leg out from your opponent, but you can't sweep through it.
Spinning back fists caught Ladon.
Nice kick, could have rocked Congolo.
But good job by Congolo to keep his hands up. Blocked most of the power out of it.
Congolo could be hurt to the body. He's kind of staying a little hunched over.
Half minute left for Ladon to pull out something special. An axe kick attempt from Congolo.
Nice kick punch from Ladon.
And it'll be Congolo who opens up towards the end of the round. And certainly did not lose that round 10-8, which is all he needed to avoid.
Good performance by Congolo. He did a good job at staying tight, staying defensive, weathering the kicks and punches of Ladon, and landing good combinations and low kicks of his own.
Plenty of confidence in the corner for Congolo, and why not? He fought very well. He fought aggressive. He was more accurate. He was busier, Joe. And that's the old Congolo we're used to, not the one that just couldn't land a punch against Cedric Doumbé a couple months ago.
Yeah, that was frustrating because Doumbé kept moving, but Ladon stood there, exchanged with him. So those are the fights that Congolo likes.
He does well and did well tonight as we jump into our highlights.
Yeah, Ladon still did a good job at really staying long in that first round, and I thought that first round easily could have gone either way. But it was later in that first round where Congolo started finding more success, and that success transferred over into the second round where he was more busy. He was landing more of his punches and kept attacking those legs, and eventually that slowed down Ladon until the third round where he knew he was down 2 rounds, and that's where still Congolo was able to stay defensive and solidify the win.
Congolo looking to improve to 65-9 as we look at our strike count, and you can see Congolo 212 strikes thrown, 85 landed, compared to 148 and 61 for the Frenchman. That's for the absorption. Headshots 35, 26 to the body for Congolo. Jim Hughes now makes it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of kickboxing, we go to the judges' scorecard. All 5 of our ringside judges seat about the same and score it 30-27. A unanimous decision for your winner, Johan Congolo!
No surprise there, Joe. What's next for Congolo if you're our matchmaker, Cor Hemmers?
Well, there's still a fight between Nicky Holzken and Cedric Doumbé, so we're going to have to see what happens there before we officially know who Congolo could have next.
Either way, Congolo right in the mix of things here in our Glory welterweight division. So a good night of fights from Paris, France. A couple of exciting knockouts, none more devastating than the one we saw delivered by Zinedine Hammerlane to Freddie Camayo in that France versus France matchup. That'll do it for us from France. For our executive producer, Bill Borson, Joseph Valtellini, and Whitney Miller, and the entire Glory Kickboxing crew, I'm Todd Grisham. We'll see you July 14th at Madison Square Garden. Friday, July 14th, Glory returns to the historic theater at Madison Square Garden for Glory 43 Super Fight Series. 6 huge fights across 5 divisions. There's top-ranked light heavyweight mayhem with Pavel Zuralev versus Salo Cavallari. Plus, U.S. middleweight action with New York locals Ariel Sepulveda versus Joe Taylor. Glory 43 Super Fight Series at the theater at MSG, July 14th. Don't miss it.